Hey there, record-loving friends. This is Brian from tokyorecordstyle. I am near my office here in Ebisu, just south of Shibuya. I am going to go meet one of my top 5 record co-hosts, the Michael Warren, and I'm going to walk down the Meiji Dori Street, and we're at the tail end of the sakura trees, the cherry blossoms famous here in Japan. But it's such a beautiful stroll. I thought I would go ahead and fire up the camera and maybe walk and talk and share some ideas about what's happening in Tokyo record style world without a pointed topic here, but just to go through the general thought of everything that's going on. So the first thing to mention is that I'm swamped at the moment. I'm just overwhelmed with so many things, and whether that be family obligations or work obligations or side projects, I'm a little bit, I'm not at all burned out by doing Tokyo Record Style. In fact, I wish I had more time to do it, but I like to spend a lot of time doing it. And you know, I really appreciate all the comments that people give me on the stories that I write, because that's really my opportunity to flex my writing muscle and express myself, not only photographically, but, you know, literarily. So I'm very happy about doing those stories, but it takes concentration and it takes time and it takes dedication, and you have to carve out that time, and I need to carve out more time. So the posts are coming a little bit less frequently, but I'm still really committed to Tokyo Record Style, and I'm always taking pictures, and they just get backed up, and then I crank a few out, you know, on the weekend or when I can. So, but your kind messages and positive feedback and encouragement really inspires me to keep going. And so you can check out all these posts over on the Instagram at Tokyo Record Style on Insta or on Facebook. And also, of course, there's the website at tokyo.record.style. A couple other things that are happening. An update with Top 5 Records. Top 5 Records is my talk show and DJ event where our record-loving pals count down our top 5 records on various wacky themes that we create for ourselves. And we actually got sidetracked pretty hard late last year by losing the venue where we were doing these events. So I've been on the lookout for a new venue for quite a while, and I really wanted to make it a afternoon event, which sounds a little bit weird, but I'm so, like, I don't know, the evening events are fun, but I want to do something in the day. I want to do something in the morning, something in the early afternoon, just to kind of like do something a little bit different. I haven't really found that perfect place that's optimal for doing something in the middle of the day. If you're here in Tokyo and you know a venue that might be a good home for Top 5 Records, what we need is a small space where 10 to 20 people can gather. Ideally, if it had a sound system with a couple of turntables and a mixer, of course. However, we could probably pull that stuff together. And a wall where we could project our presentations, our slideshows, show and tell our Top 5 Records, which is what that event is about. Basically, the event is a couple of sets of music where my DJ pals and I, you know, play some records, and then in the middle of the show we have our talk show where we each take turns doing a little show and tell presentation, followed by 2 more sets of music. So looking for a new place. We sort of got like shook down by our last venue that we showed up right before the show started, and the people who were running the place, I hate to say this, but they weren't Japanese, and they sprung it on us at the last minute that we would have to pay them money, like right before we were about to host this event, which they didn't explain the previous times. They said, oh, we're sorry, but from this time the fee is this much, which was prohibitively expensive, and it was a little bit of a gangster sort of move on their part and left a bad taste in our mouth. So looking for a new event for Top 5. But having said that, I visited one of my favorite places in Tokyo over the weekend with my daughter. She asked me, much to my delight, for me to take her out for a drive. She said, Dad, can you take me somewhere this afternoon? And I said, sure, where do you need to go, honey? And she said, nowhere. just go for a drive. I about burst into tears. I was so excited. And so we went for a drive and we went to see the famous scene of the cherry blossoms falling into the Imperial Palace moat, a place called Chidorigafuchi, iconic cherry blossom viewing site. While we were sort of in the middle of Tokyo, I took her to my dear friend Miyamoto Eichi's gallery and record store, bookstore, sort of experimental clubhouse workshop called Scart in Tsukiji. One of my best friends and one of my oldest collaborators, who has an amazingly incredible building all to himself right in front of Tsukiji Station, which is famous for the old fish market. The fish market has moved since, but for years and years we would go over there, play music on his sound system. Because it was this like pencil building in sort of an industrial area, we needn't ever worry about the music being too loud. So we'd crank music all night and then eat snacks and drink beer and then go over to the fish market in the morning and take photos and eat sushi in the little back alleys. Quite fun place. So Eichi's been sort of evolving his space over the years, and he's got it really dialed in. It's awesome. It's my favorite place in Tokyo. I'm not exaggerating. It is an amazing, cool space. He's got an incredible hi-fi sound system. He builds his own speakers, and he's got this crazy bespoke amp and hi-fi. And so Eichi invited me to do a collaboration with him in connection with tokyorecordstyle at Scart, which I have sort of been begging him for years, and he sort of unsolicitedly offered it to me on this last visit that I made to him. He was in really good spirits and he said, let's do something. I said, careful what you offer, because I'm going to take you up on it. And so we're going to try to make something happen. And I got a really cool idea that's sort of a spin-off of Top 5 Records that I want to share. I'll share that in the next half of this video. I've just arrived here in the neighborhood of Hiroo. I'm in kind of a very cool little back alley. There's like a little tea house and these sort of like traditional buildings, and I don't know what is really going on back here. It's not quite a cemetery. I don't know what it is. It might be like an old emperor's grounds of some sorts that was, given back to the city or something like this at some point. But anyway, I'm here in Hiroo. I'm gonna meet my pal Michael for a slice of pizza for lunch, and I'll hop back on and share with you this next idea that I want to do in connection with tokyorecordstyle. Be right back. This slice to meet Michael. Let's see if he's here. No, not here yet. Okay, be right back. Okay, back in action. Just had a nice little lunch with Michael here at the Pizza in Hiroo, which is a really good slice. Really happy to see New York pizza in Tokyo. And I'll mention there's a Mexican flag hiding behind this little tree. And there is a Mexican restaurant there called La Jolla, which is excellent Mexican food. In fact, I almost would venture to say it's like the best Mexican in Tokyo that I've found. There's a Belgian fry place. There's an amazing, very famous curry place up here. Where is it? It's on the third floor. Priya P-R-I-A. Priya is excellent. Curry, an institution of Hiroo. Hiroo's kind of famous for foreigners. There's lots of embassies around here, and I think there's like, I don't know, some international schools. So Hiroo's sort of been known since the beginning of Tokyo, you know, I don't know, turn of the century, as being a place where lots of foreigners live, foreigner friendly. And I just happened to work by it. Right over here, we've got Homeworks, a very kind of popular classic American cafe, diner kind of place with BLTs and sort of like a classic diner burger and so on. Anyway, nice little trip to Hiroo there. And I'm gonna walk back down Meiji Street and tell you about my next idea for an event adjacent to Top 5 Records and adjacent to or connected to tokyorecordstyle. Now, again, my friend Scart, my friend Heichi, nicknamed Scart, he's got this gallery called Scart, and he is really my senpai. He's my big brother, my big uncle, my real mentor, and my sensei. He's really taught me so much about everything. He is I trust him. I asked him to be the godfather of my son, him and his wife, Atsuko-san, who's also a brilliant artist. They're two of my favorite people in Tokyo, and they hesitantly or reluctantly decline, not really completely understanding the obligations of a godparent, which is basically nothing, but I should have pushed them. But at any rate, they're very good friends of mine, and Heichi said to me at this last encounter that I had with them, hey, let's do a collaboration with Tokyorecordstyle, which, if you know his brand and you know how long and how deep-rooted his works are, he's very hesitant to bring other people into the mix. Just his brand is so strong, it doesn't really make much sense for it to be two brands sort of collaborating. But he's just in the last year, after knowing him for nearly 20 years, is kind of changing his tune on that, and that's really exciting for me. And he said, let's do something for Tokyorecordstyle at Scart. Let's have an event here or something. I said, wow, right? I proposed, rather than repeating Top 5 Records or Tokyorecordstyle Day at his gallery slash bookstore slash record store, that we create a whole new kind of idea and concept that maybe is produced by me, but purely owned by him. The thing about the location, as I mentioned, it's in Tsukiji, which is sort of on the opposite side of Tokyo from where I live. I live over by Shinjuku and Shibuya. Tsukiji is over by Ginza, east side of town, by Tokyo Bay. So I was thinking, oh, the Scart Side, it's over on that side of town, and his gallery is called Scart. So I started thinking, oh, Scart Side. And then I thought, oh, that sounds like Dark Side. And I was like, ooh, Scart Side. And I thought to myself, Scart Side of the moon. And then if you know Heichi's designs, you'll know that he's really interested in cameras, in music, in tools, in cars, in motorcycles, in engineering and robust mechanical design, and into literature and classic film and just, you know, cool fashion brands. And, you know, he's like knows about everything. It's like, what's that, the World Catalog? What was that called? The World, that thing that Steve Jobs really loved. He's got a whole collection of those. He lives his life as an artist. His life is art. The way he lives is art. Oh, the cherry blossoms are falling. This is the wabi-sabi fleeting beauty of the cherry blossom. It really encapsulates the fleeting spirit of beauty and sadness that's sort of central to Japanese identity, I would say. But anyway, I digress. So Scart Side of the moon. So I thought to myself, Scart Side of the bear. Atsuko-san makes these teddy bears. Scart Side of the tool. Scart Side of the noise. He's into noise music, and Philip Glass, and he's into everything. And Scart Side of the, we have a whole list of them. Scart Side of the bike, Scart Side of the wheel, Scart Side of the needle, where he does a lot of sewing, Scart Side of the camera, Scart Side of the lens. And I started imagining like different albums that could potentially align with these themes. Moon, bear, noise, and so on. I thought about how a DJ event is a little bit antisocial. Not exactly, but you're all there to listen to music, and there's one person who's sort of at the decks and you're either paying attention to them or you're not. I thought of another idea where maybe you bring us an album. Everybody who attends brings one record and you play not the entire record, because that's kind of an ask, but you play a side of the record. The A side or the B side or the third side or the fourth side, but it's an event that's dedicated to a side of a record. This way you get a taste of an album, a taste of a band. Maybe you're intrigued to hear a little bit more, which is your prerogative to go home and discover this, explore this artist who somebody's brought to celebrate and to feature, or you say, oh, thank God that's over. It only lasted 20 minutes. And everybody takes a turn playing their concept of whatever they were inspired by this idea, the Scart Side of the moon inspired music, Scart Side of the tool, or Scart Side of the fashion, or Scart Side of the whatever it is that Hei's amazing brand Scart comes up with. It's an event that's dedicated to playing a side of an album. Help me win Heichi over on this idea so that we can start this really cool event where we're focused on sides of records and we can get more than just a single song. I'm seeing a really cool car right here. Maybe like a, what is that? Some Italian thing. I don't think it's an Alfa Romeo, but very cool car. So that's my idea for Scart, and I'm still looking for a home for top 5. And I'm also trying to get some merchandise, some Tokyo Record style merchandise. I want to get some, I don't know, I want to represent Tokyo Record style with a t-shirt, hat, or who knows what. I don't know, maybe that's corny, but that I'm trying to get going. It should be really straightforward and simple, but print on design is sort of results in shitty quality stuff, which I'm not really that into. And silk screening requires me to order a lot of shirts and have inventory and use capital that I don't exactly have. So another idea was to spray paint things, do a sort of DIY hands-on experiment, but that's a little daunting as well. So another idea would be like pre-orders, not necessarily Kickstarter, but like, you know, ask people who wants a t-shirt or who wants a tote bag or record bag, and print up some designs. I have some designs on standby, and anyway, trying to get that off the ground. What else? Yeah, just keeping the project going and keeping photographing people who I see on the streets of Tokyo who are carrying record store bags. We do have another event coming up on August 27th. It's a Saturday. We're gonna have a Tokyo Record Style Day, volume 8 maybe, I think it's 8. And we are gonna go to Garageville Record in Tsutsujigaoka, which is a really cool little corner of Tokyo, not often ventured to. Holy cow, look at this thing. Ford, my God, look at this thing. It's like a submarine. What the heck? Look at this thing. Is that not insane? RevCon. Wow, that is amazing. So cool. Anyway, well, thank you for coming with me on my lunch break. I know I'm breaking the cardinal YouTube rule, you know, have a plan. I'm not having a plan and I'm just blabbering on, but I don't know, maybe somebody out there needs a little space to fill with some entertainment. So I hope you've been entertained with my back alley walk here of Tokyo on my lunch break. So please like and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything to like a video. It really helps me out. I want to continue to grow the channel. Please give me a subscription if you're keen to hear about more content from Tokyo and celebrating record store culture and record loving and music loving culture. That's what I'm doing here, and that's what Tokyo Record Style is all about. It's really become an amazing way to discover new music and to really find out what the human algorithm is. That's what I'm calling it. I have some amazing photography subjects who are queued up, who I'll be writing stories about, short stories about, and sharing on Tokyo Record Style, Instagram and Facebook, and on the usual spaces, the website tokyo.record.style. So thanks again. It's a beautiful end of the sakura season here, and I really appreciate you being with me. And until next time, I will see you at the record store. Bye.